Alright, we're just gonna go for this because I do not like talking in front of the camera, or I'm not used to it, but I think the only way to get used to it is doing it, so here we are. I'm Kira Dugan, and I'm 24 years old now, and when I was 17, so this would be May in 2018, I went to a summer camp in Tennessee, and unknown to us at the time, it was a huge mold exposure. And within 7 days, I came home with basically not myself. And during that week, I had hardly gotten any sleep. I had severe insomnia, which at the time I thought, oh, it's a new camp. I'm just excited. But I was losing weight rapidly. I was walking from one place trying to get to another and forgetting where I was going. I was walking around feeling tipsy, like I couldn't even walk in a straight line. Just really weird symptoms that I hadn't experienced before, and I didn't know that this was the start of basically 5 years of hell trying to get a diagnosis and then recover from what would later be found to be autoimmune encephalitis or basal ganglia encephalitis, also called PANS. So when I came home within the 7 days, I was not myself. I was presenting with symptoms of mania and psychosis, which those in itself are really scary and hard to explain, but basically you're not yourself and everything's going your mind is just spinning out of control. And I was talking nonstop, like very fast, not really making sense. I kept having to go to the bathroom, pee a lot. My eyes were super dilated, the pupils, which is a sign of brain inflammation. And this would begin our journey into what would be, I mean, from 2018 to even, I think, till 2021 it took to get the right diagnosis, but I kept being labeled with bipolar, as if you just go by the symptoms and don't do all the infectious tests, that's what you're likely going to be labeled with when you present with these crazy symptoms. But when a child, or in my case I was a teenager, or even a young adult, or at any age, presents with sudden change in symptoms, you really need to check the infections, check for autoimmunity. My ANA, which is an autoimmune marker, was off the charts, and it was like heading into the range of like lupus, which once we got on the right treatment, it was able to reverse in like 6 months and go to normal. But when you have autoimmunity at work, you have infections that need to be treated, and then mold can also have severe effects, just the environmental toxins. As mold, I mean, it's been used as a neurotoxin in warfare, and that's what it does, is puts your brain in fight or flight mode and war. And then your immune system, it's going to be going haywire, crazy, and you need to modulate the immune system. So when I finally got treated for autoimmune encephalitis, identifying, so testing for the infections to see what you had, as there's many that can cause PANS, PANDAS, or autoimmune encephalitis. My main one being mycoplasma pneumonia. But it could be strep, it could be Lyme or Lyme co-infection, it could be Coxsackie cytomegalovirus, HHV6. There's a ton. And unfortunately, when I was tested, I came back high for a lot, which some of these are like common infections that wouldn't trigger an extreme reaction like PANS in people. But when your immune system and combination of mold exposure and just infection, it can just set something in motion that is a brain on fire. And so treating those infections once you identify them, and sometimes it's antibiotics, sometimes it's herbals, sometimes it's a combination depending on how your body reacts. And then the immune system, so regulating your immune system, like in my case, low-dose naltrexone, it can help the body to like lower that autoimmunity, reverse that ANA. And then like the mold, usually it needs to be treated. To heal, you really need to be in a place where there isn't mold, if that was one of the triggers, and that can be tested like through urine, a mycotoxin test. And so infection, immune modulation with the low-dose naltrexone and other things. I always forget that one. Infections, immunity, or immune modulation, and it'll come to me in just a second.